Hello, this is Jeremy16 and welcome to an update on Stoke Summit. Now, even though not much on Stoke Summit's been done, the Fiddle yard is actually nearing completion. I did an update the other day actually, but I never uploaded it just because I thought I'm probably better waiting until I get the other boards. So that's what I've done. So we'll start right from the beginning. So, this is where the track's going to go up its incline, which we'll have a look at in a sec. But goes into points straight away. So you can imagine now that this track's got to go up and around to the top level, which is here. So I have points straight away for sidings. And if we look, we got quite a few, and then they go off into these points here. And all these sidings here have been built to hold a 7-coach train, which is my limit on my layout on Stoke Summit, 7 coaches. And you know, it's perfect. These sidings, how many are here? There's 5 sidings. The back siding, there's 6 with the back one. And the back one is reserved for the fully fitted, even though there's going to be 2 of them. So there'll be one going north and south. We got a DMU siding over that. That's purely for one DMU. But because I'm probably going to get more DMUs in the future, I've actually put a point in here, underneath here. This board's not stuck down at the moment, so it's just to hold the pillars down whilst they was gluing. But there's got to be several tracks going off under here, probably 4 sidings, and that can hold DMUs in the future. So I'm thinking in the future as well, at the same time building this, because I'm not going to stop buying rolling stock just because I have no room. But yeah, that should hold most of my passenger trains. And you see I got Q1, I'm not too sure now, I forget. It's a bit early, but something done that. It's 7 engine, one of the ugly ones. We also have actually a Boco test in the day as well. Now, as the track comes around, we got one single track, which you can see over there, goes all the way around and comes here. And then first point's here. And you can see it goes to 2 tracks. This point will then go back on itself and there'll be sidings all across here. This will probably be small freight trains. But I'm hoping to get at least 5-6 sidings, and they will come right around to here. They will make their way right around to here. So that'd be smaller trains though. Then this track actually comes to an end because what I've got to do is build a triangle area across here. So that's today's job actually. I'm going to do that later on today. I got the board for it, so that's good. The other track here then goes off into more sidings. And we also have a back track here. Again, this is just going to be extra storage for some wagons or something. Not used straight away, but might put something in there. I could put the observation car in there and some other unique wagons that only travel on their own with an engine. Just have that stored up for that. And then, yeah, like I said, we got these tracks here, and these go off. We got 4 sidings. Now, sadly, I actually ran out of track yesterday afternoon. What it was, I've used all the track I used on the original layout, all of it. And I've got little bits left, but what's the point using little bits? It means I've got to use more sleepers. So I'm going to buy some more flexi track and get these sidings sorted. These will make their way around the pillars and go right over to here. And then the DMU sidings come to about here because they're under that. But the longest siding at the back here, you can see Scooby-Doo at there. I'll explain more on that in a second. That's got to be the long freight, which is going in there. That siding is made a little bit longer for the long freight. Again, these 2 sidings are going to be pretty long as well. The one with the Brighton barrel in, that's going to be right down to the end now. The Brighton barrel is not going to go in now. The Brighton barrel will be going in a smaller siding just because it's not going to be used that much, because there was no electric third rail on Stoke Summit. But it's one of my favourite locos I built, EMU sets. I bought it because I'm a fan of it, and I had to have it. When we announced it, I was really excited. One of the most anticipated models I've ever bought. So I was really pleased with it, and yeah, it looks pretty good, that all set up. So it will appear sometimes, even though it's not accurate, it did not appear on Stoke Summit. But it's a model railway, I can choose what I want to run on it, and yeah. So the next thing will be these tracks. Now we got one track that will go around the pillars. You can see I've just put a track for spacing, and I go around, and again follow these tracks perfectly. Then this one here will split off to other tracks. So there'll be a point here, and we'll have tracks going all over. But the reason I didn't start doing this yet is because the incline. So the incline's going to start from here. This track's already going to be raised up to a certain level. And then we're going to have MDF around, of course, all the way around here. You can see I put some of the pillars in now. And it's going to be quite a steep gradient. But that is because the plan is the gradient's going to go up, and it should stop roughly about here. Now, in this area, let's say. Now, what I've got to do, there's got to be 4 tracks on the top level here. And what we're going to have is a piece of board, extra track, so a 5th track, behind the scenes. So you can't see none of this, remember, because this is behind Stoke Summit now. This is kind of the fiddle yard. You're not going to see this. So I'm going to have a fiddle yard on the top as well, by the way. So if we stop there and I go around to actual Stoke Summit. So what's going to happen on the top level, I've got to put pillars in it down here. I actually ran out, and that pillar is just for spacing. That's not accurate size or anything. But from that pillar, that's where the tunnel's got to be, Stoke Tunnel. And the 2 tracks coming up Stoke Tunnel got to come all the way around to here. Now this is where Stoke Summit splits into 4 tracks. Of course, first of all, it splits into 3 tracks. And then farther on down, so roughly about here, I would say, this is where it goes to 4 tracks. And this is where the signal box is going to be. Might be farther on down, I'm not too sure yet, but it'll be in this area. And then we're going to have 4 tracks, a nice gradual radius, not too tight, obviously. And it's going to go, and on Stoke Summit you had a bridge. Now the bridge is going to be roughly about here, I would say. And it's going to be put there, and that's going to be the eye of the layout. So from that point, we'll probably have the layout blanked off, another sheet of board, and it's going to the other fiddle yard area. Those 4 tracks will continue all the way down here, and they'll stop around here. So the 5th track is going to be joining about here, and it's going to be able to go all across these tracks, so like a giant diamond crossing area. And that's purely for getting the trains on the right track, for going in the right direction. But the 5th track's going to go around a little bit tighter and stop about where the tunnel is. Might go under the hillside, because it's got to be a hillside here, and it's got to go down. It's like a massive valley. So if you were down to this level, you wouldn't see Stoke Summit on the top because of the actual valley. And the track would curve around under that valley, and that'd be kind of a head shunt for the freight trains and the passenger trains to then come back on their south and go on the right track. I might put the diamond down this end or that end, I'm not sure, but it's probably better putting it on the head shunt end and cross over like that. So that's the plan. That's what's happening. So you can see I've explained what I've done with the track. The pillars is the next thing. One thing I did mess up on is I put this back track in here, and I didn't think about putting pillars in. So what I've got to do now is I'll probably adjust these 2 tracks anyway and put pillars in between here. I have got 1 or 2 pillars left actually in the shed, and I got pillars done for the gradient as well. But let's run some trains. Let's see. I did test it all yesterday. Scooby-Doo, I've done a review on that. That will be uploaded after this video, hopefully. Why is it not working? That's the question. Okay. It might just be the fact that I drove it into the wall yesterday. No, not working. Okay. Not a great start to this. I'm guessing it's the point. Right, let's pause it here. Okay, it wasn't working because we got a dodgy point. Now, I actually had the same problem with this point, and I swapped them over, and I've had the same problem again. So what it is the contact across this bar on this track is not touching perfectly. Not a big deal. I can fix that in 20 seconds, but I'm not going to do it now. But yes, Scooby-Doo does work now. So here we go, we're bringing it across. New locomotive, my brother bought this one on the weekend. Last weekend, sorry. And he's running quite good actually on the track. We need to run him in, but we can't because there's no layout. For those of you who don't know, this is the Howden Class 128. And on the front, the camera's not that great, but that's got Scooby-Doo, Where Are You on the front. Quite unique. I talked more about in the review unboxing. They were local engine, not running, but built. They were built just, 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away from me. So that's why my brother bought one. We'll put them in a different track actually. So the locos, some locos will be stored underneath with the freight, with all the passenger stock and everything like that. And some might not be. Some might be stored in other places. I have got an idea where I want to store locos. So this is one of my old J94s. I paid a £5 for this from a model shop, purely because it was classed as a non-runner. And to my shock, I got home and it was a runner. So I was really pleased with that. The track's going to have a massive clean. I must say that. None of this track has been cleaned yet. This track is still as it was when I took it down about 2 months ago of the original layout. So sorry if this update's going a bit longer, but I thought I'd show you the trains running because at the same time I'm finding problems like that point. I wasn't doing that yesterday, so that's great. So yeah, you can imagine how long these sidings are going to be. It's going to be a great layout. Stoke Summit on the top level, obviously that's nowhere near. I need to make sure everything's working properly under here. The pillars are 100mm. Now, with standard Hornby stuff, like the pillars you get for that and the bridges, they are 80mm. Now, I got a pillar actually here, right. So these pillars here, these are 80mm. These were made to hold up on the old layout, Fellow Hill, which would have been in this area. So, you see a difference, there's like 20mm difference. The reason I made a 100mm was because access. So you got enough room to, well, let's do, I've got a coach here, old slow coach. Let's just put them on this track now and you'll see what I mean. So if I had 80mm, that's how far I can get my hand. I just touch the tops of them and probably put them across like that. But I thought, well, I don't want to do it like that. I want a little bit more, so I can put my hand more or less underneath. I can go above the coaches. And this was actually a unique coach. This is a little bit higher than normal coaches, but I can get underneath them and touch ones behind. So that's the reason I've done 100mm. So these pillars all stuck down now. The first build of Stoke Summit is on this board. Obviously, I showed you that just now. It's pretty sturdy. It's not gonna bow too badly. I don't think it's gonna bow at all. Might have a problem with this, but again, I can put a pillar here. I am going to get some narrower wood to do slimmer pillars for the tracks, just to make sure I don't get that bow-in effect, because this Stoke Summit's being built for not high-speed trains, because I don't run my trains at high speed. In the real location, they would have been high speed. But they'd be at a good speed. I'm not going to let them go slow all the way around. But it's got to be a great build. The point on the entire Stoke Summit will be motorised. The points on the Fiddle Yard will not be, just because it's got to be a lot of money. There's a lot of points. I don't need to. I got access to the points here, as you can see. The banking's going to come up to like there, to about here. So it's going to be on an angle, so I can still get to these points, get to those points. The ones underneath for the DMUs, there's never going to be any traffic across these points, so I can still gain access to them. So I hope that answers a lot of questions about how I'm building Stoke Summit, how am I building the Fiddle Yard, how am I connecting it, how am I using the helix, stuff like that. These were questions that were asked a few months ago in comments. Don't need a helix because that's just going to take up even more room. I've not got room to spare like that. So I'm pretty happy doing it with this. I don't like having inclines on layouts, but for this layout to work, for me to store a lot of my rolling stock, that's what I need to do. So I'm getting on with it. I've got to do work on here today. Like I said, I ran out of tracks, so I'm limited. But I have got a few bits of tracks laying around where I could maybe start the track here. I've got to get the triangle in, like I said. I've got pieces of wood I can put across there to do a triangle. And hopefully, in the next update, I'm not going to rush these updates or anything. The next update will feature all the track running on the bottom level, track complete, and then we go on to adding the boards on top. So, sorry for the extra long update, but hopefully you've seen everything. One thing I haven't mentioned actually, if you see here, now these are two tankers from Backman. They have been customised with close coupling. You know where I do my close couplings, where I cut the couplings, trim them down, trim them back, and make them closer, and they run really buffer together. Let's just move my fan out of the way. See? I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the buffers, and all of this layout is being made so wagons like that, a lot of my stock is done like that, especially wagons, run buffer to buffer on the tight curves. And the tightest curve on the layout currently is this one here. This is a third radius, Hornby. And the tankers run around that fine. So that's one thing I am checking before I do this, because no point building all this track, run a train for the first time, and he derails because of buffer locking. And again, for this van train at the back here, these vans are all close coupled, buffer to buffer. But the way I do it, they can still go around second radius they've been tested on. Those tankers, what I just showed you, they've gone around second radius. And they're still buffer to buffer on the straights. So it works really well. So yeah, I've got to go now. I've only just got up really. I've just put a new light in this run because it blew last night. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the update. Let me know if you've got any questions. And I'll have more on the layout in a couple of weeks. So thanks for watching and bye.